AI companies are paying people up to $3 an hour just to talk. And the reason they are unique accents, such as a Nigerian accent, a Ghanaian accent, or any accent.
The market was loud, but Sandra felt invisible. In her hand was a letter that could change everything if only she dared to open it.
Cut through the noise with a voice that commands attention.
Nurture yourself with kindness.
It's a common story for years. Many people think, their language is a challenge. They are very self-conscious about how to speak. This might be the person that wants to go into a meeting and is worried that people might not hear them because they talk too fast. This also might be the person that has rehearsed American English, just because they want to sound polished, professional, or global. Many are convinced their accent is a bug, a problem they might have to solve just before they can get anywhere. It's almost impossible to guess this, that a person's voice can become a significant financial asset. And in this video, I'm going to show you a little known online industry that is actively searching for unique voices. I'll walk you through how what many people think is a weakness can be turned into a superpower. Let's dive in. Now, picture this common scenario. Someone is trying to climb the remote work ladder, applying for jobs and doing all the interviews over Zoom. A voice of insecurity is always at the back of their head. I know it could be you. I mean, I've experienced that before. Before every single important call, they consciously try to flatten their accents. All right. They might listen to how Americans or British speak, say things and try to copy them, just hoping to sound a little less, like Nigerian. Honestly, it can be exhausting. It can feel like putting on a costume even before you start talking about your actual skills. Consider an interview for a project management role. The interviewer seems great. The interview goes well. The person is qualified, has experience, and feels the connection with the interviewer. But then the rejection email hits your inbox rather. It's a polite email, but then a friend on the other side just reveals to you that over the meeting, they said that, they rejected you because of, communication issues. Say they have concerns over communication clarity for a global team. A comment like that can be crushing. It feels like the biggest fear. And no matter how good you are, your voice will always hold you back. It feels like, you have to choose between being yourself and being a successful person. All right. People can start believing that their heritage, the very sound of their home, is a professional liability. And in trying so hard to fit in, they lose themselves. Now imagine scrolling through an online forum for freelancers and remote workers one night. Maybe you're even looking for tips on how to do some work, reduce your accent, or whatever it is. Then you stumble on a thread with a strange title, something like getting paid for your local accent, right? You might almost scroll past it. It could sound like a total scam, but curiosity leads to a click and a rabbit hole that can completely change a life. The post might be from someone that has very thick Scottish accent talking about recording audio files for an AI company. The explanation is simple. For voice assistants, for Siri, Alexa, or any Google assistants to work for anyone on the planet, they can just be afraid to train on standard American voice, right? Most of them don't want to train on standard American voice. If they only learn one accent, they completely fail the moment someone from Lagos, Glasgow, or even Mumbai asks for direction. You see, to be truly useful and inclusive, these AI systems need to learn diverse library of local languages so that people who buy gadgets, who buy these technologies can be able to be integrated fully. They need data, they need unique voices. This is the real aha moment. For so long, an accent might be seen as a bug, might be seen as a disadvantage, but these tech companies, it is becoming a feature. It is becoming something needed. A unique voice isn't a problem to be solved. It is a data that points to something that has already been missing or that is missing. They aren't looking for people to hide their accent. They are looking for people who can deliver them authentically. All this leads to the world of AI data collection. It sounds super technical, but the work itself is often surprisingly simple. Basically, you're helping to teach a computer how to understand and speak like a human being. So what does this actually look like on a day-to-day basis? It can be, a few different things, right? Sometimes it's as simple as reading a list of sentences into your phone. An app will show you a prompt like, what is the weather like in Abuja? What is the weather like in Kumasi? What is the weather like in Ghana? And all of that. And you just read it out loud in your normal native accent, all right? Other times you might just have a scripted conversation with another person to capture the flow of real dialogue. On some projects, you don't even speak, you just listen to an AI generated voice and rate how natural or human-like it sounds. These little tasks are building the blocks for the voices in your GPS, your ChatGPT, your Siri, your website, and any AI that is powering your phone. All right. And because these companies need so many different accents, they have platforms designed to recruit people from all over the world. Platforms like dataannotation.tech have been known for other projects paying up to $23 per hour, but it's not the only one. We have other big names in the space like Appen, Telos International, which used to become Lionbridge AI, and One Former. Now let's be real about the money. While the $23 mark is possible, the pay really varies depending on the platform, how complex the project is, and the language they need. It's probably more common to see voice projects in around $10 to $20 per hour range, which is still an incredible work range that is flexible, something you can do from home. I mean, it's very fair. All right. So the platforms I mentioned are dataannotation.tech. You have an Appen. All right. For data annotation, you can already see on my screen that you see train AI to speak your language. So you also have Appen, you also have Telos, and you have a One Former. So how can you actually get started? You see, it's more straightforward than you think. And here are 4 simple steps. Number 1, find and sign up for these platforms. Yeah. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I would advise you create multiple accounts. Maybe you can choose Appen, you can choose data annotation, or any of the platform I already showed you. Create an account, and start applying. Number 1, a good strategy is to start with dataannotation.tech, Appen, Telos International, and One Former. Links of these platforms will be found in the description below. When you fill out your platform, be detailed, list your languages, and be proud about your accent. That's like 1. Number 2 is the assessment. Be yourself. Most of these platforms will give you a qualification test. For voice projects, this is usually a short audio recording. Now, here is the most important piece of advice for this step. Do not change your accent. Don't try to sound professional. Don't try to sound British. Be natural, right? They want your natural, authentic voice. Speak clearly, speak like you would speak to a friend, okay? Your real accent is the asset that will be paying you here. Also, a quick warning, these sites often have writing-based AI training projects too. For those tests, never use AI to help you with the answers. They have systems that can detect if your answers are AI generated. So make sure you reply or you answer those assessments genuinely. Number 3 is get your gear ready. You don't need a fancy recording studio. For a lot of these modern jobs, smartphone and a quiet room is all you need. The key here is a quiet room. You have to avoid background noise, no dogs, no barking, no traffic, or any of all those such, all right? Make sure to stay in a quiet environment. For some higher paying projects, they might ask for a simple USB microphone, but you can worry about that later. You can absolutely start with just your phone. For people that are worried, just your phone is enough. Number 4 is pass the test and get paid. Once you are approved, projects will start showing up on your dashboard. Some are short, some are long term. You just pick what works for you, and start working. Most of these platforms pay through services like PayPal, Payoneer. So make sure you have an account ready to receive payment. And hey, if you're finding this video useful and it's opening your eyes to a new possibility, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Make sure to like, also comment, and let me know what you're working on. More strategies like this will be dropping mostly every week, okay? And you don't want to miss out on any of the things I'm going to be bringing. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful. The opportunity here isn't just about having a Nigerian accent in English. The real untapped gold mine is in the local languages. Think about it. The number of people in the world who can give AI companies high-quality voice data in Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Efik, and all these other languages is very tiny compared to English speakers. And Pidgin, that's another whole level of unique data that companies are just looking to start utilizing. Some platforms, especially Appen and One Former, will have projects pop up specifically asking for these languages. When you are creating your profile on these sites, list every single language and dialect you can speak. Don't just write English. Even if you can't speak it, get people to list as much as you can. Add Nigerian Pidgin, Yoruba, Igbo, whatever you've got. This is how you get invited to a more exclusive offer, that gives you higher paying projects because you have a skill that a very few people in the world can offer. This is where your cultural identity becomes a massive economic advantage, all right? You see, this journey may start with someone trying to erase their accent and hide a part of themselves because they see it as a flaw. But there is an industry where that very voice, exactly as it is a valuable commodity. The one thing to take away from this is that the things you see as disadvantage might just be your greatest asset waiting for the right moment. We live in a very strange time. So you need to think of how to leverage all the advantage, all the disadvantage you have. This experience can be about so much more other things, aside from just making money online. It can be about reclaiming pride in who you are and where you come from. Your voice is not a bore, it is a feature, right? Your culture is not a liability, it is an asset. So for everyone who has been, made to feel weird or insecure about their accent, hear this loud and clear. Your voice is valuable. Your identity has value and there is more opportunities to ever prove it. All right. Thank you so much for watching. The links to all the platforms are they're on my Telegram channel. So I'll link my Telegram channel to this video. So you click join and download. All right. And now a question for you. What language or dialect do you speak? Drop it in the comment section. Let's see the incredible diversity of community right here. And don't forget to subscribe because I'll be uploading more mind-boggling, eye-revealing, videos. Cheers and see you in the next video.